Hi guys, welcome back to Pop Up Fizzle. I'm Jeff. Normally, we do movie reviews together. Me, Heidi. This time Heidi wasn't with me. She's off today, but she took the kids out to have some fun, and she's not that interested in slasher films. I went to go see Halloween. If you have watched any of our trailer reactions for Halloween, you'll know that Heidi wasn't particularly interested. She wasn't sure she had seen any of the other ones. That's not uncommon for her. She's not a big horror fan anyway. So I stopped out to go see it, and I figured that since it was just me, instead of waiting until I got back home and got onto the set and put the lights up and did all that stuff, and not the lights, but set up the camera and did all that stuff, that I'd just do it in the car. So here we are. I'm still in the parking lot of the movie theater, and I'll give you my thoughts on Halloween. This will be non-spoiler, so don't worry if you haven't seen the movie yet. These are just my thoughts. I'm not a movie critic. I'm going to move my camera around a little bit and make myself a little more comfortable. No, look, an ice chest in the back of the car. Anyway, I'll turn this way. There we go, better. So, my hand is still in the way. Get a grip, Jeff. Okay, so these are my non-spoiler thoughts about Halloween. If you've watched the Halloween franchise, then you know the deal. Michael Myers is back. And this particular movie takes place as if none of the movies after the first Halloween count. They didn't take place. None of those things happened. It was all myth. It was all urban legend. It was all stuff that people talked about after the events of that first movie, but it was all just made up stuff. In reality, Michael Myers has been imprisoned for 40 years in a hospital where they've been studying him. And this is, of course, 40 years from the original killing, and he breaks free, as you know from the trailer, and comes to make Laurie Strode's life hell once again. This time, though, the notion is, and you get this from the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything, that she's actually prepared for him, that she's been waiting, knowing that at some point he's going to come back for her. And that's really the story of this particular Halloween film. It's the notion of what damage would happen to you if you had undergone that sort of trauma as a young person. How paranoid would it make you? How overly protective of your loved ones would it make you? How much would it cause you to prepare, perhaps over-prepare for any eventuality, so that if he came back, you would be ready? And that's really the notion of this particular Halloween movie. I think the movie's pretty successful. Now, as with most horror movies, that I'm drawn to things that are a little bit different, that don't feel like more of the same. This is not breaking any new ground here, except for the fact that we have Jamie Lee Curtis back as Laurie Strode, and she really does play this whole damaged person who's been through such torment, and what that does to her. That's an interesting angle. So I like that, and I appreciate that part of this film. But as far as the slasher elements of it, it really is just sort of a typical slasher film. And if you've seen a slasher film, you've pretty much seen them all. So while this was done well, and the quality of the filmmaking is pretty solid, I don't think it's really bringing anything new enough to the party to set the world on fire or anything like that. Although it's Halloween, so it makes good Halloween viewing. Definitely, it's good date flick if you want to scare your date before Halloween hits. So the way that we rate movies here, if you've been watching for any length of time, I'm going to move again because I can see that I'm bouncing the camera around. The way that we rate things here is that we, because of our name, Pop Pop Fizzle, if something's a fizzle, that means don't bother. If it's a pop, it means sure, go and see it, but you don't have to pay big ticket money to go see it. Check it out when it hits Netflix or Redbox or what have you. And if it's a double pop, that means rush out and see it in the theater and, grab a large bucket of corn and a giant drink and do that. For me, this is going to be just a pop. It's a solid film. And certainly if you're looking for a Halloween date, you want to take a group of friends out to go see a scary movie, certainly this is good viewing for that sort of thing. But if that's not the case, then I think it's not anything that has to be seen on the big screen. It's well filmed and well acted, and it's a solid film, but it's nothing that you necessarily need to pay big ticket money for. And we're a family-friendly channel. We have the kids on sometimes. We do these reviews and we just give you our opinion. We're not critics, but for me, it always comes down to, is it worth spending the money for? Movie tickets are as expensive, more expensive than they've ever been. And yeah, there are some great programs like A-List, not a sponsor, which allowed me actually to see this film today. but it's expensive when you have a family to take to see movies or even just to go out on a date. So I don't give something a double pop unless I really feel like it's worth your money to see on the big screen. I don't think this is. I think it's a good movie. I think it's a solid movie, but I just don't think that it's necessarily requires the big screen to be enjoyed. So my review is a solid pop. That's it for me. If you like this video, be sure and hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. We love it when you do that. We're getting close to 200. I know that's tiny. Who cares? But it means a lot to us. And every time that number ticks up by one person, we celebrate and have a good time. We really just do this because we love doing it, and we invite you to participate in it with us. So we like having you on board. If you're already subscribed, hit the bell icon. That'll notify you the next time we drop a video. I think we're going to have some more trailer reactions and stuff coming up once I get back home and see Heidi and see what she has planned. Anyway, until next time, folks. Bye.